Good morning, everyone. We are back at it again with the Young People Takeover. We had our first episode yesterday on July 9th, but today it is July 10th, 2024. If you are tuning in live with us here at 7:25 a.m., or if you are catching a replay, whether it be in the afternoon, the evening, or near the nighttime, we just want to say thank you for tuning in and supporting not only News and Motion, but the Young People Takeover as well. We can be found on YouTube, LinkedIn, or any audio or podcast platforms. For our audio and podcast people, thank you for turning those dials to NIM today, but keep your eyes on the road. If you're stationary and you have a chance to chat with us, please do so on YouTube or LinkedIn. And invite some of your friends, invite a young person that you know, tell them to come join the news from a young person's perspective. Today we have Well Spoken Wednesday, but before we get into it today, let's give a few shout outs. Shout out to Miss Marianne Jackson tuning in through YouTube. Good morning to you. Good morning, Miss Shirley Nicholson. Good morning, Kim Emerson, and happy hump day to you. And good morning, Miss Adrian. Those are just a few of our viewers joining in right now. So, as you're getting ready for Well Spoken Wednesday, be sure to like, comment, hit that notification bell so that way you can stay up to date for all things from News in Motion. And we'll be right back after this brief intro.
News in motion.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of the Young People Takeover. It's your boy Isaiah Jones.
It's your girl Lexi.
And we are the Young People of News in Motion here with another Young People Takeover. Today we got Well Spoken Wednesday, but before we get into it, Lexi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's another day. I'm another grand rising. So I'm here to look at all y'all and y'all look at me. Well, y'all look at me. But I see y'all. I feel the energy. I feel the energy.
That's amazing to hear. Amazing to hear. We got somebody else coming in the room. Good was my mom. Good morning, Latrice Jones. She said, "Good morning, young people. I need to find an emoji for y'all." Are you gonna have an emoji for like me and an emoji for Lexi, or is it just are we gonna have the same emoji? Like how's that
One
going?
together.
Like one to get okay, and she put
I'm
the
here for it.
oh
I'm
okay,
here
I'm
for it.
here for that. I can work with that. I can work with that.
She's cute. She got a bow too. Hey y'all. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
29.
she do. But if you are ready for this episode of Young People Takeover and Well Spoken Wednesday, let us know in the chat. Type, let's go,
Let's
young
go, young
people.
people.
Let's go, young people. She said, "There you go for the emojis." Good morning to you, Ready Media as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Lexi, you want to kick us off?
Sure do, sure do. Good morning, everybody. I am Lexi Williams, your special reporter and high school ambassador for News in Motion. Today is Well Spoken Wednesday. Of course, thank you to Auntie Gail and the whole News in Motion team and Ready Media for this opportunity. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Facebook. Hello, LinkedIn. Hope your week has been as great as you are. So, ready? Here we go. It's time. My one story for today. It's a continuation from yesterday. So I'm talking about a different perspective from how we talked about Joe Biden and how he's running again and telling the Democrats that he is not stepping down. So, as we know from yesterday's episode, Joe Biden will not be backing down. From NBC, I quote, President Joe Biden is firmly pushing back on calls to drop out from members of his own party, telling congressional Democrats in a letter that the voters have spoken. So, although there may not be many more candidates to choose from, there is still hope for one person. And that person is the current Vice President, Kamala Harris. This story comes from the New York Times, and I quote, with Mr. Biden's future on the line, perhaps no one is in a more delicate spot than Ms. Harris. For the first time since she took the oath as vice president in January of 2021, Democrats are giving her a serious second look, with many coming around to the idea that she could potentially lead the party in November. As a practical matter, though, she has to ignore the chatter and disclaim any interest unless Mr. Biden reverses the course and passes her the baton. Reverend Al Sharpton told the New York Times after speaking to Harris on Friday night at the Essence Festival of Culture in New Orleans, she's in an awkward position, but the job of vice president is awkward. Now, we have seen such as cases as this before. I quote, Vice President Gerald R. Ford made a point of demonstrating unyielding loyalty even as the Watergate scandal increased pressure on President Richard M. Nixon to resign. So did Vice President Al Gore when President Bill Clinton was impeached and faced pressure to step down for lying under oath about an extramarital affair. Now, Elaine Caramack, excuse me if I said that wrong, a former aide to Mr. Gore, said to the New York Times, the worst thing a vice president can do at this point is to be anxious to get the president out. Now, if Ms. Harris were to run, they claim that one challenge for her would be that she does not have a well-established national political organization of her own to turn to if this opportunity does arise. In the very best case, one could hope that Biden-Harris organization would be passed on to her. She would then have $240 million in the bank for her to use for her political standpoint. In the end, she would be running that race that Mr. Biden started but could not finish. But as I quote John Adams, the country's third president, said, being vice president means that I am nothing, but I may be everything. So, my thoughts, vote and pray. As we said yesterday, vote and pray. I stick to it and I will stick to it today. So, what if the presidential debate were to turn out like this or not? It's important that we vote or pray. I think, as we were saying yesterday, it would be good to see somebody new. But of course, she has experience at the desk, but I think she would still be a new space to see or a new perspective to see in the Oval Office. So actually sitting at the office desk instead of being the backbone or the person on the side.
We need
What
to
you
put
thinking, Isaiah?
we need to put that vote and pray on a t-shirt. Rock that while we go out to vote and, do some community work in our communities as well. But my thoughts on that is, I can respect Biden for not wanting to step down. I feel like maybe Kamala has a good point, but they definitely want to do what's best for their political party, as well as they should. But we got some comments coming on here as well. Kim Emerson said, "I don't think she can carry the party." Miss Marion Jackson said, "# vote and pray," and we also had some more vote and pray comments as well. I want to. I'm interested in this comment right here. Do you think Kamala can handle the pressure of leading a political party at that?
Now, in this article, they did mention before that in the first, I believe, I'm about to use the word trimester, knowing that's not even the right word. Forgive me, y'all. But in the first part of her running for political party, and I think 2020, that it failed in the first trimester. Trimester is not the word, y'all. Look it up. But yeah, so she failed without even having Biden Harris behind her. So to have that as a conflicting part on the other side. So there's pros and cons to her trying to run. Can she carry it? Possibly. If we look back at history and seeing what she's done before, it's not necessarily in her favor, but things do change. And like John Adams said, I am the vice president, so I am nothing and everything all at once. And speaking of that, John Adams was one of the vice presidents who had to step into presidency after, who was it, Thomas Jefferson? I believe it was.
I like what you said right there. I'm nothing but what was that?
I am nothing but everything all at once.
Mm.
Don't touch on it.
That's a word right there. That's a word. That's a quote, and somebody gonna catch that on their way to work.
On their way to work.
That's all I'm gonna say. And my headline for today, my story for today is this is being reported by ABC News. Trump is trying to distance himself from Project 25, but the architects helped shape his RNC party platform. So last week, again, I have to report this as is. So last week, former President Donald Trump attempted to distance himself from Project 2025, a sweeping plan to overhaul the federal government proposed by a closely aligned conservative group. Trump claims that he knows nothing about Project 25. Okay, then. Trump also claimed that on social media, referring to the 922-page plan put forward by a conservative organizations led by the Heritage Foundation, claiming, I have no idea who is behind it. Trump's comments make it seem like he has no connection at all to the plan or those involved in it. Um, I find that very hard to believe, because one, like I said, it helped plan his RNC party platform. Miss Adrian says that's laughable. His name is slapped all over that mess. That too. That plan has his fingerprints, his orange tan spray all over that.
Mm.
So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Nobody believes a word he says. Um, and for real, if it's just laughable at this point to think that he's taking this presidential debate as a joke, when it's really determining not only the fate of a country but like parts of the world too. So
We have to consider he might be trying to change it into a dictatorship as well.
yeah, that too, because if we're being honest, Trump is kind of a dictator. He has that authoritative, I want things going my way type thing. Um, but
If you also pay attention, I know we talked about it a bit, not on air, but we were saying, how are people talking so much about Biden's age more so than Trump's lies and scandals?
mm,
Like, why is that so much important more than the guy who has his hands all over things such as this, or trying to completely change our nation's government and make it collapse to the ground, or the attack on Capitol? If we want to talk about all those things, but now
let's
it's
talk
just
about it.
become
Let
quote
let's talk about
unquote
all the things.
old news. But Biden's age being like 81 years old, if I think he's right.
Hmm.
But if he's like, why does that matter as much as what the former guy has been doing? That's why I'm concerned. I'm like, why are we
Hmm.
really looking at this when we should be looking at that? Is it just a social what's the word? Yeah, it's just a social thing that social media wants to talk about. It's just something new for us to talk about in the political world. Or is it people are completely and totally willing to ignore the bad and wanting to talk about something that may not be as bad to make sure they can completely forget about the fact that, oh yeah, our nation could come to crumbles. Like, oh, okay. That's something. They need a distraction. That's the word. They wanted a distraction because they know this could all fall apart and we need a distraction. It's concerning. Mm-hmm.
It definitely is. Kim Emerson says yes, he is a dictator. Miss Mary Jackson says the former guy has the attitude of my way or the highway. Um,
He need to take that highway.
yeah, he does. He is the type to throw a temper tantrum because he didn't get a certain snack at snack time.
Not a
That's
snake.
his that's his MO. Miss Adrian says, great point, Lexi. Smoke screens everywhere. And
Mm-hmm.
Kim Emerson says it's very concerning. It is, and we need to be alert. We need to make sure that we're staying up to date on not just the presidential debate, as much as we may not like the candidates, but it's important that we stay up to date on these things and also stay up to date on Project 25. Um, I took a look at Project 25 and what the overall view of this. If the former guy gets reelected, this is going to shape not just the government but the the United States for like years to come. So it's important that we do our due diligence, we do our civic duty, and we go out and vote. Encourage your young people to go out and vote if they're of age, even if they're not of age. Still pique their interest in voting. And like we said yesterday, you may think that your vote may not matter because it's just one vote, but that one vote can literally change the tide, change the landscape
Mm.
of the voting poll. It can be that 1% that changes it from 50-50 to 51-49. Um, Dr. Annette Sky says 45 didn't know who Gene Carroll was, didn't know who Stormy Daniels was, didn't know he was leading an insurrection, and now doesn't know the people who he had in his inner orange circle.
That's good. It's true. It's so true. It's so true. It's so sad, but it's so true.
Oh, that's good. That's good. The inner orange circle. That is good. Well, I'm gonna get one more headline before we give our inspirational message. This
Don't
was
forget about national days. How you gonna do that?
oh yeah. But, well,
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You go first. I'll
all
wrap.
right.
I'll
So
save it for last.
we'll do the headline and then we'll go into Lexi's national days, and I'm excited to hear about what the national days are for today. But this was reported last week. How many of us watched WWE growing up? I know I did.
I
It's okay.
remember.
Don't be ashamed. We all
When I
we
found
all
out the
probably
truth, it hurt my heart. It hurt my heart when I found
we
out the truth.
we all probably had a WWE phase or a wrestling phase, but this was reported last week that 16-time world champion John Cena is announcing his retirement from the WWE. Um, he stated that after WrestleMania of next year, he will be done with in-ring competition. It's a bittersweet moment, but at the same time, you got to realize that he's basically done pretty much everything that there needs to do. Arguably top five of all time, you know, easily top five of all time. So, Mr. Cena, even though we can't really see you, you know, it's been
Okay.
a
I, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
it has been an amazing ride. He's inspired everyone. You can't really hate John Cena. You just really can't. So it's like I said, it's a bittersweet. I'm not really ready for that. I feel like his final match should be against Randy Orton. It's only poetic at that point. So give us Randy versus Cena one more time, and then we can be happy. Latrice, Latrice Jones says we won't see him. Oh, that that's funny, but it's true. It's also true.
Yeah,
Kim Emerson says Andre went through the WWE phase.
we all
E-
did.
Every boy probably did. And then Mr. Chase Young says, "You are my son." So, Lexi, what is your thoughts on John Cena hanging up the jorts?
It's sad to see him go. I remember all the jorts, all of them, and all the bands, the green, the purple, the all of them, the changes.
He had the fruity pebble color
Oh
shirts,
yeah,
all of that.
all of it. I remember seeing him on the cereal boxes and all the things, all the things. So it's sad to see him go, but it's bittersweet. And it's a take back to childhood as if I'm not still a child. I'm not. I'm a young adult. Corrections, but
Exactly.
we young adults here. So yeah, it just I was like, whoa, that was quite a few years ago. Like it's giving very much 2016. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, to
Mm.
see him go is bad. It's sad, but he had this whole thing with the what was it, the Stella sister, the Bella sisters, the
The Bella,
yeah,
the Bella
yeah,
twins, the
yeah,
Bella
Nick, the Bella twins. Oh, he had this whole thing with that. I was like, oh, that's sad to see him go. But all good things do come to an end. So
Again, Mr. Cena, we congratulate you on a wonderful career. Um, After WrestleMania next year, he's going to be doing in-ring competitions. Like I said, give us Randy versus Cena one more time. The world needs that. I need that. So
so he could pull a rock though and go into hiding for a minute and then just pop back out of nowhere. So let's keep that in mind too. Just saying. He could just be working behind the scenes with WWE and be like, "Hey, I want to get in the ring one more time, just one more time." So
yeah,
you never know.
I can see him doing that too. I can see him doing that too. As long as if even if he works behind the scenes of the WWE, I just want him to still have like that connection there. And
Mhm.
Kim Emerson says all good things must come to an
They
end. It's an
do.
unfortunate truth, but it is true. So for our inspirational message today,
Boy,
Lexi, you mind if I take it over?
what you
You mind
forgetting?
if I take?
You forgot something?
I'm sorry, the national days, the
You like
national
skipping over
days.
my part.
I'm
And
so
Root
sorry. I'm so
just
sorry.
slid over me, slip and slide. But I'm getting to it. Let's slip and slide to these national days. So today is Bahamas Independence Day. It is Don't Step on a Bee Day, which is encouraging your knowledge on bees and how they help the conserve our culture. So, because without bees, we really wouldn't be. You got to think about it. See what I did there? Without bees, we wouldn't be. It's okay. Global Energy Independence Day. It is Gospel Day. Hallelujah. National Caleb Day. So if you know a Caleb, shout out to you. National Kitten Day, National Pina Coladas Day, and then National Pizza Day and National Stella Day. Hey, Stella girl, it's your day. National Wyoming Day, Pick Blueberries Day, it's Political Flag Day, and Teddy Bear Picnic Day.
Teddy bear picnic?
Take your teddy bear to a picnic, Like, with your kids and
Oh,
stuff, you like take a little teddy bear, how we used to have teddy bears when we were small, just whoop,
okay. So somebody has a teddy bear named Yugi or Yogi
Did you just say
or Boo
Yugi?
Boo.
Shame on you. Yogi
What?
Bear. Yes,
Yeah,
it's a
I,
Yogi.
I I fixed it, and then I
Mm-hmm.
said Boo Boo. They might
Mm-hmm.
have a little picnic basket.
Picnic basket. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And you said today was also National Pizza Day.
Yep. Yep. National Pizza Day.
What's
Mm-hmm.
your go-to topping for a pizza?
If it depends on the day. So it's either cheese. I'm not usually a gal for pepperoni. I'll get down with pepperoni, but I'm a cheese gal.
Okay.
Cheese, and then if I'm feeling extra special, it'll be cheese, pineapples, and tomatoes. Don't you judge me. I need my pineapple people to show up and show out. Because pineapple on pizza, it deserves a spot. Y'all act like that pineapple doesn't go on pizza. Yes, it does. That's another conversation for tomorrow because I know we got to go. But we'll talk about it on Throwback Thursday. Does pineapple
Yeah,
really go on pizza?
we'll talk
It's
about
it's a
this
deep
tomorrow.
conversation I'm ready to have with somebody. Because what we're not going to do is talk about pineapple like that. So let's keep it going. But tune in tomorrow for this pineapple
Tune in
stay on
tomorrow
pizza.
for this conversation. I'm just gonna say pepperoni and sausage underrated. Can't go wrong with it. Um, hey, I might get some side eyes for this, but hey, Lexi thinks pineapple goes on pizza. I think ranch and pizza go crazy.
Yes,
So
they do. Ranch and pizza. They are a beautiful combination. You know what? We're gonna have a pizza conversation tomorrow. Pizza
I'm down
conversation.
for it. Y'all tune in tomorrow so we could pick up this conversation on what goes on pizza, what doesn't go on pizza, what's a good compliment for pizza, along with our Throwback Thursday conversation. Make sure that you invite a friend and join us live at 7:25 a.m. Oh, Dr. Annette says pineapple
Thank
on
you.
pizza is
Thank you,
delicious.
doctor.
We
Thank you,
we
doctor.
we oh, this is gonna be a good
Nope.
conversation
Come
for
on.
tomorrow.
Inspirational message. Let's go.
All right, for our inspirational message today, I'm just gonna simply say trust the process and the vision. Um, we may not have everything figured out um, as we not only navigate our spiritual journeys, but as we also navigate life. Nobody really has this thing called life figured out. Um, but if you have a vision or if you have a goal and you put your mind to it and you trust God and trust His process and His timing, everything's gonna fall into place. Now you're gonna have to do the work on your end, but God's gonna meet you halfway. Not everything is gonna fall into your lap, and I know that's hard for the young people to hear because everything is so instant in the world nowadays. But there are some things that you're gonna have to be patient for, and that you're gonna have to work towards. That business that you're wanting to do, that takes, it takes time. It takes you trusting yourself, trusting, your vision board, all of that. That relationship that you think you're ready for, that it may be the right person, just the wrong timing.
Right.
It, it,
Right.
it could
Call it out.
it could be the wrong person at the right time. It could be a mixture of things. But those things are a process, and you have to trust God in everything that you do. You have to put God first in everything that you do. So as
Tag me
long
in.
as you trust, oh, you got something to say?
Tag me in.
Oh, go ahead,
Tag
then.
me in. Let's go. Come on, WWE. I'm tag team. Let's go.
Come on, then.
So I think to bounce off of what you said, how we were talking about earlier, I am nothing and everything all at once.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it? Hold on. In Psalms 139:14, it says, I
Well.
praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. So your friends and your opposers and your haters and your discriminators, they may
Mm-hmm.
call you nothing, but oh,
Mm-hmm.
I am everything all at once. That's all I have to say. I can't because
Mm.
I'll get caught up on it and we have to go. So you may call me nothing, but I know I am everything. That's
Mm.
I can do all things through Christ
Through
who gives me
Christ.
strength.
Co- Come on now.
All things.
As long
You
as you
say
know
I
that you are
cannot, I say I
fearfully.
can.
Come on. Come
Don't
on,
don't
sis.
let the devil get in your head in regards to who you are. You are not who he says you are. You are who he says you is.
Mm.
Remember whose you are and who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Come on,
You,
tag team.
you talking, sis. You talking. As long as you know that not only that you are a child of God,
Mm-hmm.
but you are also from royal descent.
Mm.
Because if we really want to talk about it, if we really want to talk about it,
Get into it.
we not only the children of God, but we are of royal descent. So we need to walk as such. Walk in your purpose. Walk in your truth.
Walk in your great thing. Walk in your great thing. Come on.
Come on now.
Because that great thing will change generations. But I'm not going to get caught up. Because if I get caught, we'll have a whole sermon. I got to go.
We got to go. But we will finish this up tomorrow. Make sure that you are tuned in for part 2 on Throwback Thursday from Well Spoken Wednesday. If you enjoyed this Young People edition, please let us know in the chat. We thank y'all for joining us each and every day. Thank you for supporting us. I'm Isaiah Jones. This is Lexi Williams. Over to
Other side. I'm on the other side. It's okay. It's all right.
It's all good. We will see y'all tomorrow for Throwback Thursday. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We out.
Motion.